Dalen, Terry, and Julian Phillips are two players that we had hopes for coming into the season. Do we still have hopes after the 24-25 season? Me and Pat are going to discuss that all and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, a member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze, and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Pat, we've reached this point. We're coming to the end of the grades. I can't wait. Next week, we'll start draft content. The draft lottery is going down on Monday, so we'll start on that. But, yeah, let's start this off. Let's kick this off. Julian Phillips, season grade. How'd you feel about the season that Julian Phillips had? How'd you grade out his season?
I give Julian a C. I mean, listen, up and down season, there were points where he was ahead of Dalen Terry on the depth chart. There were points where defensively, I think Julian Phillips was elite. A guy, you know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about Julian Phillips at the end of the season. He could be on the Bulls next season. He could not be on the Bulls next season. It wouldn't change the amount of sleep that I had, which wasn't much. It wouldn't change the amount of sleep that I had in the grand scheme of this team. I like
if you were losing sleep over anybody on this team at this point, I'd have to worry about you.
Yeah. There is that. I think that Julian Phillips did some nice things defensively. I think that when he was asked to do more, he was able to do a little bit more. The jump shot never materialized consistently. I think going to the bucket, there is some potential there as him as just a pure rim runner and defensive player. And he, to me, projects to be what I think is impressive about Julian Phillips, especially knowing kind of how, he gets to the league and stuff like that. He projects to me to be a bench piece NBA player for a while.
Yeah.
And that is what you can hope for.
As a second round pick, that's not bad, right?
Yeah.
Like the problem is that our fourth overall pick is on the same projection as our second round pick. But I'm just saying, Julian, and I think that's the thing, right? Is Julian has tons of potential, make no mistake about it. But as we know, potential only they get you in the door. That doesn't mean that you're going to hit on your potential. And I try to judge this based off, all right, he's a second round pick. Out of what you typically expect from second round picks, what is how much is he giving you out of compared to that? And Julian has shown some flashes. We knew he was raw coming in. Like you said, the jump shot still isn't there. There were some games where the jump shot was there, and it's like, okay, I can start 3-and-D wing. It looks like he can be that, but he just has to be more consistent. And there were times where he was the first player off the bench. Now, he may have not finished that game with the most minutes off the bench, but there were a lot of games this season. He was the first player to come off the bench for the Bulls.
Yeah.
And so he's gotten a lot more opportunity than what he did in year one. If I'm not mistaken as well, Julian played 70 games, I think, this season.
Julian Phillips played in 79 games this season, started 5.
So there you go. It's not like he was in just about every game except 3. So, coming into this, he's still raw. He's only 21 years old. So I do think the Bulls, they're still going to be giving him opportunity. But much like we said with Patrick Williams, every year that goes by, and especially if the Bulls do get another forward, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's a center. You go further and further down the depth chart to eventually you're off the team. That's just the way that it works.
Yeah.
So Julian's going to have to really work this offseason, come out. And the thing that I want to see for Julian is just do one thing really, really well. Whether that's you coming in and being the energy guy. I know that's kind of hard to quantify his energy, but whether that's your thing, like when you come in, he's giving energy on both sides of the ball. That could be a thing. That could be your niche. Come in, give really good defense. Come in, shoot the ball, rebound, whatever it is. I just need in year 3, Julian, when he gets in there, for us to feel like we know at least one thing we're getting from him every single time. Having the Swiss Army knife is great. But when it's inconsistent, it ends up with some games you're not giving us anything. I need to see one thing you do every single game where we're like, that's what Julian's impact was this game.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with most of the Bulls bench is you don't have that identity for any of these guys. What is Jalen Smith do? What does Dalen Terry do? What does Julian Phillips do? I guess Dalen Terry is the energy guy, right? He kind of does bring that, but like for the most part, like you don't have that for anybody on the bench outside of Ayo Dosunmu. We don't even know what P. Will does. In theory, he's a 3-and-D, except his defense was horrible this season. He didn't shoot the three ball great.
Well. He's starting to look a little Sadiq Bey-ish, bro, and I'm a little concerned about that.
Hey, listen, can't play 1 through 5.
Bro, that's still one of the greatest moments of us on Locked On was doing that episode with Q, and he's literally like, Sadiq Bey, he's supposed to be a 3-and-D player. He can't guard 1 through 5. He can't hit the 3. I was just like, Jesus, you just completely killed me.
He literally said, he was trying to say it politically correct, too. That was the funny part. He was like, he struggles guarding 1 through 4. He's too small to play the 5. He doesn't shoot the 3 ball. It's like, how did you just say he's a 3-and-D that can't guard 1 through 5 and can't shoot? Like,
yeah.
And he was right. But no, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I think for the Bulls to start to take steps in the right direction, there does have to be identity on more than just your starters, right? I think your starters do have an identity. The big problem with your bench right now is the only guy with an identity on the entire bench is Ayo Dosunmu. I mean, THT has an identity, but it's mostly in his hairline. Like,
Why have people been catching random strays from us all week? If you go back and listen, it's one person all week. We've been sending strays through all the entirety.
We have to break down a team that basically didn't even was competitive the second half of the season and then didn't compete in any of the important, meaningful games. So at the end of the day, you gonna catch these strays. Although we would do this no matter what team we were covering. If we were covering the Warriors right now, tell you right now, Apple hate to see Buddy Hield coming.
That's what I'm saying. We can say it's about the team. We roast people for me and you call each other to say hi and randomly start roasting
just
people.
Start frying, bro.
It just is what it is, man. But yeah, Buddy Hield, I believe fully 100%, bro. You could use his teeth as the jaws of life to get somebody out of a car.
Hey, man, Buddy Hield had a cameo role. I don't know if you saw it in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he has vibranium dentures, bro. Like the mugs is insured.
Dude, those ain't dentures, brother. Them came out the head naturally.
Bro, I don't know, man. I think you got a veneer a vibranium veneer overlay on the mugs, brother.
Hey, go look at his high school and college pics. That mug is just
but you know
smaller.
What's random? If you go and look at young Buddy Hield, the gum to tooth ratio was more even. And it's like the teeth slowly started overtaking the gums as he grew up. It's like, that's crazy.
He's Bizarro Denzel Valentine.
That's wild, bro. Exactly. Anyway, to get back on Julian Phillips, what's one thing you want to see, Julian? I kind of said it with me. I want to see him just do just any one thing really well in any given game. What's your thing for Julian you want to see next year?
It's very tough without a shooting coach and a player development manager. But honestly, I think the thing that Julian needs is the 3 ball. Okay. You know, give yourself something where, because I think the drive that Julian has to get to the hoop, he's fine defensively, right? Nobody's good on this team defensively. It's all team defense. So sitting there saying be a lockdown defender, the only one that's going to be that is Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo and Lonzo, and Lonzo's got 35 games to play in 4 years, so I ain't even worried about him. But find that thing offensively for you that is going to be consistent. I think it is the jump shot. He's got the form right. I think last season showed that. But you got to have the confidence in the shot. There were too many times where Julian Phillips is thinking about, okay, do I shoot this? Should I shoot this? You're wide open. Shoot it. And more times than not, they were leaving you wide open. Just let that mug fly. And I think if you can get that shot to the point where, I'm not even saying it's got to be 40%, right? But if you can get that shot to like a 35, 36% range, that opens so much up for him becoming the player that's driving to the bucket. I think that opens his offensive game up completely. He's already good getting to the bucket, being around the bucket, taking on the contact when he's getting downhill. It's just that matter of, I don't have to worry about you back there, so I'm going to just play down here and meet you at the rim and make sure that you don't elevate above me. So if he gets that jump shot, I think it really opens up the rest of his offensive game.
Do you think it would motivate Patrick Williams if we said every time you miss a shot, you get bit by Buddy Hield? You think that would be what we finally need to motivate Patrick Williams?
He'd probably just accept it. He'd be like, whatever. It is what it is. I'm a pass.
That's hilarious. All right, we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to switch it to Dalen Terry. We're going to talk a little bit about Dalen Terry and our season's grade for him. But first, we got to get to the message from Upwork. Crazy. Scaling your business requires,
I did it this time.
Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives business flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. Finding the right talent. If you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who delivered incredible results. Posting a job is free and simple, and within a day with multiple qualified candidates to choose from. Instead of hiring full-time, Upwork helps find affordable top-tier freelancers to scale businesses efficiently. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com to connect with top talent and grow your business today. Also got to talk to you guys about Game Time. There's nothing like the atmosphere of an NBA playoff game. Every bucket, every defensive stop, every moment feels huge. It's electric in the arena, and with Game Time, you can be part of it without the stress of last-minute ticket hunting. Game Time makes it fast and easy to get playoff tickets even when demand is sky high. Prices on the app actually go down as tip-off gets closer, and their last-minute deals can save you up to 60%. Here's why I use Game Time. Last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Plus, the all-in pricing means no surprise fees at checkout. What you see is what you pay. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. More Locked On Bulls coming up next. All right, Pat. Dalen Terry, man. It's so interesting because it's like per your expectations that you had at one point, that we had at one point for Dalen, it was the bare minimum. Just look like an NBA player. He did that. Yeah. He did that this year. Dalen Terry looked like an NBA player this year. And he played the most minutes of his career for sure. There were times where he made really good defensive moves for the Chicago Bulls. There were even times where he even hit some shots that were needed at times for the Chicago Bulls. With all that said, Pat, how do you grade Dalen Terry's season?
I give Dalen Terry a C+. Again, another solid role player. I think that he did have a better season this year. Defensively, I think that he had a better season this year shooting the basketball. One of his best seasons, his best season from the 3-point line this year, 35% shooting the 3-ball. So, listen, he's a role player. He's not going to get a ton of shots per game. But what Dalen Terry brings, I think, does quantify in the energy, in raising the level of play and raising the intensity and bringing some of that youthful vigor, if you will, to the floor on a team with a bunch of young players that should have it anyway. But the thing for me with DT was there was a point at this season where I was like, he looks bad. Like he looks like he's out there. He looks confused. I don't know what it is. And then again, like many players, the second half of that season hit and it was clear cut that he was better than Julian Phillips. It was clear cut that he was somebody who was going to be a part of the rotation. I think even getting some point guard minutes in for him this season was interesting to see. But for me with Dalen Terry, the big thing that you saw the improvement on was just awareness on the court. Dalen was a cluck sometimes. Like there were times where Dalen was just like, I'm going to the rim. Ah! It's like, why? Why? There's 6 people down there. The ref is even in the way. Like, why are you going to the rim right now? And I think this season we saw a lot more situational awareness from Dalen Terry and saw him grow in that regard. So I give him a C+. Listen, he's a role player that averaged 4 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Dalen's going to be a role player until he proves otherwise. And I think with what this team needs is defense and energy times off the bench. Like, he can carve out a role for himself next season, and that's perfectly fine. The expectations for Dalen weren't extremely high for me. I guess I'll give it a C minus, just because I do think there are some times where Dalen did miss some defensive assignments. But then again, like, I try to give understanding, because like this, Dalen Terry, there's still some players in his rookie class that played more minutes just their rookie year than Dalen has his entire career so far. He hasn't played a lot.
Yeah.
But still, either way, you've been on an NBA team with NBA trainers for 3 years. You should at least be able to give something if you're going to turn into something. It's just at this point, not to say we've never seen it before, but at this point, you very rarely see somebody take their game from where Dalen is and then turn into a key part of your rotation.
Yeah.
He's a specialist, and he's probably going to be a specialist off the bench, and I think that's perfectly fine.
And see, again, though, right? He's a special. What's he special at? That is the question. You know what I mean? Like,
energy.
Yeah, that's it, right? You know what I mean? Like, if I need him to dance for Russell Westbrook, I'll go get campaign back. Like, I think that's the thing, right? Basketball wise, what can Dalen Terry bring on a night in and night out basis outside of just energy?
I will say this, though, right? To just compare it to a player that maybe the trajectory can be there. Again, I don't think so, but this is it. At this point in his career, too, Danny Green's best NBA stat was dancing on the sideline with LeBron.
Yeah.
And he ended up turning into a really good three-point shooter that was a contributor to a title team, I think, at one point in time. So you can't, I don't want to put a cap, just say he's never going to turn into anything, but it's just he's going to have to really hit a leap if I'm going to feel safe in saying that.
Yeah, I mean, a couple title teams, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think
Danny Green got
the Spurs too, right?
He got Spurs, he got Lakers and Raptors, right?
Does Danny Green have 3 rings?
I think Danny Green has 3 rings, if I'm not mistaken. He definitely got one with the Spurs.
Yep, 3-time NBA champion, 2014, 19, and 20.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And was a contributor on all of those teams. And listen, I think that is the thing, right? Like, sometimes it is just getting minutes. Danny Green, I think, is a really good example of it. Danny Green went from getting Now, he got minutes his second year, and he was trash. But Danny Green went from getting 11 minutes.
He averaged 11 minutes his second year.
No, his second year, he averaged 16.
No, his first year, he averaged. No, what are you talking about? First year, he averaged 5.8 minutes per game with the Cavs.
Right. Second year
is 11.5 with the Spurs. And then his third year,
he got traded. He got traded. My bad. He averaged 16 minutes in 3 games with the Cavs. And
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
11.5 minutes with the Spurs.
Yeah.
And then
up to 23.
23.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just time. I don't know if that's the case with Dalen Terry, because the one thing that I do think you could see with that young Danny Green could shoot. It just, he wasn't getting a ton of time on the court to put shots up. I don't know if Dalen Terry can shoot. Now, in his third year, he did have his best shot from 3. So maybe there's a turn happening there that is a couple of years in, and by next season, he'll be somebody who's more playable. I do think he's good enough on the court defensively for you to put him out there if you need him to be a 3-point specialist. My thing is, what is he special at? And if he becomes that player that is special at something, I do think he has the other necessary skills for him to get more time on the court.
The one and so to do what we did for Julian, I guess it's
Rosebud
2 things.
Hill.
What?
You said to do what we did for Julian. I said Rosebud Hill.
Oh yeah. No, we'll get that maybe in the third segment. But the thing that I want to see Dalen Terry do that I think is it's 2 things, but I think they kind of go into one. I would love to see Dalen Terry have really good defense next season and turn that defense into because that's where Dalen Terry's passing is the best. Transition passing, Dalen Terry is a really good transition passer. I want to see Dalen Terry. Huh?
It looks so awkward.
It does look odd, but
it's like it's like he's trying to throw a key blast. Like,
no,
that's how it looks.
He's Kamehameha. So like
it's like, bro, you passed it 20 feet, bro. Like what?
Bro, the way that now I will lose my crap if I see anybody pass the ball. Bro.
No, he throws it like he's throwing a destructo disc. Like it's just
that is a fact.
It's like, why is there so much shoulder involved in this pass?
That's crazy, man. the analogies that we come up with here, bro. Like the fact that you guys can get a mix between cultural jokes, basketball analysis, and nerd jokes. This is why we're the best locked on show, man.
Oh God, that is funny, bro. That is funny. But we go get before we get to the next topic, talking about will they end their season in Chicago? Talking about Dalen, Terry, and Julian Phillips. Of course, we do have to tell you guys all about Open Phone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about it, the last time you had an urgent need, maybe a plumber or a service provider. If the first person didn't answer, did you wait? Probably not. You moved on. That's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system built to streamline and scale your customers' communication from an app on your phone or computer. Open Phone lets me manage business calls, texts from a single app. The shared inbox feature is a game changer. Your team can jump into any conversation instantly without missing a beat. And their AI agent handles after-hour calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you never miss a customer. Open Phone is offering my listeners 20% off for your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's openphone.com/LockedOnNBA, openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you have an existing number with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. More Locked On Bulls coming up next. Yeah,
all right, Pat.
It was better. That was a good show. It was good.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna
slowly getting there.
Yeah. We're further along than Patrick Williams. With that said, Pat, what will Dalen, Terry, and Julian Phillips both be on the Chicago Bulls by the end of next season? Hell, by the beginning of next season, if this team does look to move, do you think they're at end of 2025-26 season, are Dalen, Terry, and Julian Phillips on the roster?
None of them make money, and I don't think anybody's looking for them. There's no teams the Bulls are looking to trade with that suck that want to bottom out.
And I don't think necessarily, it could just be because Dalen's basically an expiring contract. It could just be, you're sending us 2 players. We need to send 2 back out, so let's include that. It could be that. I don't think anybody's targeting Dalen and Julian.
I mean, well, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying like usually a team that would do that, that's trying to just get the money dump on their salary, is a team that's like, all right, we got to get bad.
Yeah.
And Dalen Terry can't provide that because Dalen Terry's only making what, like $2 million, $3 million.
He was right outside the lottery.
He's still on his rookie scale, so he's got to be making $3 million. Like, it's not like he's the money that's making a deal work. Is my point. And so more times than not, $3.5 million. He's making $5 million.
3.5.
Oh, I was about to say, shout out Dalen Terry. He's making $5 million. He does make $5 million next year, though.
He will $5.3 million next year. So
shout out Dalen Terry. You take that deal. But I don't think that they're either him or Julian Phillips are 2 players that make anything shake, especially Julian with his money, right? So I guess maybe at $5 million, Dalen does kind of get into that range coming into the 2025-2026 season. But we'll see. I would assume that they're both on the team to start this season. And if they're on the team to start this season, I don't expect anybody to come in and just vastly, take over that Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips spot. So I'd assume they're on the team by the end of the season.
Yeah, I think both, especially Julian. I don't think the Bulls are ready to come up off Julian yet. And I don't think they should be. Like, I mean, he's going into his 3rd year. Unfortunately, we don't have a development coach to help him work on his shot. It would have been nice to have one of those. We haven't had one of those in Chicago. Oh, wait. Never mind. So I do think that Julian for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if with Dalen, I don't know if the Bulls will extend him in restricted free agency. I just don't know if they will. I'm not saying that they won't, but unless Dalen really shows something, he's a restricted free agent at the end of next season. The Bulls still are up against it. They'll have a lot of open roster spots. That's where they can completely clear out everything. They only have 5 players under roster after that season. It may be the last chance for Dalen to stick around long term.
Come on. Last chance for Dalen to stick around long
I said
term.
maybe.
Dalen played 70+ games last
maybe.
season. This man finna get $10 million.
Bro, I swear to God, if they give Dalen Terry $10 million.
Oh, shit, he might be getting 15. Lonzo got 10 for 35. Dalen Terry might be a $15 million player, my boy.
You kids, why do you keep going up $5 million every time, Pat? Shut up.
About to be his 23-year-old season.
Yeah.
Best 3-point shooting percentage of his career.
That's crazy.
Extend him now. Let's just extend him now. Put that news out.
You know what it's going to be? We're not sure Kobe White's going to resign. Dalen Terry, we got $15 million per 3-year deal for you. Our new shooting guard next to Josh Giddey. What shooting guard?
And Dalen Terry.
Dalen
Terry shooting 35% from 3, and that's what we. The worst part is we don't know if that's a joke. No, man. Listen, at the end of the day, I think the big thing for the Bulls right now with these two young players is to just get the most out of them that you can. They are young. They're extremely young. There's a ton of time for them to continue to develop. It doesn't mean they're going to be the players that they eventually will be. And I think last season really showed you something, right? When Dalen Terry felt the trust of Billy Donovan and he wasn't going to yank him every time.
That's a good point.
Every time he went out there and made a mistake, you saw Dalen Terry start to play better. That's what players need.
Yeah.
Especially young players. You play very tight if all of a sudden it's like, if I miss this shot, it's over. Or you don't shoot jumpers if I miss this shot, it's over.
Yeah.
Like
we shall see.
We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening this season. But I think they're both on the team going into next season. But hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Show love. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. And watch out for Stray Buddy Heels. They're out here biting people.
You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV. Basically, anywhere you want to see us, you can get us, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Love you guys. Peace, y'all. Watch playoff basketball. It's been pretty dang good.
It's been ridiculously good.
One day it'll be us, Pat. One day it'll be us.
Oh,
Is that Mojo Joe?